Hey everybody, it's Sneak here, and welcome to This Week in WoW for the week of March 7th. As always, we'll start off with the Mythic Plus affixes for this week. This week we have Fortified, Sanguine, Volcanic, and Thundering. Again, that's Fortified, Sanguine, Volcanic, and Thundering. Sanguine, always a bit of an issue, especially some of these dungeons with some immovable mobs. However, Sanguine is not really a wiping affix, especially in like pug keys or 15s, 16s, maybe even up to 20s. It's not really a wiping mechanic. It's more of a, slow down your time mechanic. And therefore, this is actually a very, very good completing week. So we have Fortified, generally easier. Sanguine slows you down, but doesn't really kill you or wipe you. At least, unless you Sanguine the very wrong thing. And then Volcanic, of course, is just dodge it out of the way. Not a big deal there. One of the least impactful fixes, and therefore this is actually an extremely good completing week. If you still have some 20s to get done for achievement or whatever, this is a really good week to go through and complete some keys. Maybe you're a more casual player, you just want to get some 16s completed for some chance to get the primal thing to upgrade your gear. This is extremely good completing week because it is quite easy to do so. It's not necessarily a great timing week as far as like pushing, going as fast as you can or doing a really, really big key if you can't handle Sanguine. However, most people who, do those kinds of things are able to handle Sanguine pretty easy. So definitely a solid week there for keys overall. Let's go ahead and talk about what's going on in-game this week. Most notably, Darkmoon Faire is back this week. Darkmoon Faire, probably the most impactful thing right now for Dragonflight is that you are able to get your free profession points, profession knowledge, whatever you want to call it. You also can get skill ups as well, but you can go there and get your free knowledge still. I imagine this is going to take place throughout the entirety of Dragonflight. I don't know why it wouldn't, and possibly even in the future if they continue the system. So you definitely want to head there and do that. They've said that they might update Darkmoon Faire. I always mention that as well. Also, with the clown costume transmog that you can get from the trading post, if you get the little rocket ship thing, I can't remember exactly what it's called, the Dingable or something like Durable or something like that. It's like a Zeppelin. From the mount from Darkmoon Faire. It costs a lot of tickets, takes a lot of time to save up for it, but it actually goes very, very well with that clown costume thing if you are rocking that, like a lot of people in my guild were, and I still currently am for now. That goes really well with it. So there's lots of stuff to do with the Darkmoon Faire. It is a little bit slow in grading at times, and I'm very interested to see how they update it, but that'll be pretty cool when they do. The weekly thing is Timewalking with Wrath of the Lich King Timewalking, so you can participate in that if you choose to. And then we also have PvP Brawl Arethi Blizzard. This is one of the better PvP brawls. All the PvP brawls they've come out and said they're basically testing out different ideas to see what they could implement in the future. So the Arethi Blizzard thing is just to kind of see if they obfuscated your view or whatever, basically having like a fog in the game, what would that do to players? So it's actually one that I like a lot. It's kind of interesting. I don't go out of my way to do PvP brawls by any means, but this one is actually kind of cool. Like I actually prefer this over regular Arethi Basin, for example. Other than that, there's no more in-game events going on. Obviously, we still are getting weekly updates on Ret Paladin stuff, so I will continue to be doing my weekly updates on the Ret Paladin rework, since that's like a big thing for my channel is Ret Paladin stuff. I'll obviously be continuing doing that, and looking forward to those future updates there. Not a ton has come out. They did do basically a preview for 10.0.7. A lot of people think that'll be coming early next month, so like the beginning of April. I think that's very possible. That would put the 10.1 release somewhere in June, which is kind of where I think it might be. So that kind of tracks for me. So early next month would be extremely possible for 10.0.7, in which case we're going to get that new zone, the new gem system thing, and kind of like new stuff to do there, advancement of storyline. It's actually a pretty big patch, especially considering how short and small it is in a way. Like it should be small, but it's actually kind of big, at least in World of Warcraft terms, for a patch. So we could expect that date to be released perhaps soon, and obviously more changes. They've been doing some sort of tuning pretty much every week, not just Ret Paladin stuff, but tuning stuff here and there. Obviously there was big hunter bow changes that came out as well last week. But yeah, all kinds of stuff there. On a personal, I always kind of mention where our raid's at, just because it's like my personal, you know, thing that I love to do is raiding. So my guild did get Brewkeeper down. I said last week that it would be very optimistic to think we got it down, but we did get it down. Got some polls on Mythic Razagath as well, so this is very exciting. Now we have, we actually have, studied a little bit of the fight. Like, we have a raid plan now, and we'll be using a Vanisher now for until we get it down. And so this is a pretty exciting time. Always exciting to get cutting edge every tier, especially as a very casual player. I raid 6 hours a week. Sometimes I only play 6 hours a week, frankly, because that's all I have time for in real life. And so, that is just a very exciting time. Every time we get CE, we're just a low end cutting edge guild, but we manage to do it every time. So it's still exciting every time. Still feels accomplished every time. Kind of, I both hope that they don't nerf Razagath anymore, Mythic Razagath, so we can like kill close to the original version of it, while also in some ways hoping that maybe certain things get nerfed just a little bit, like nothing drastic, just because again we are very casual. Our raid comp is very, very suboptimal. That is literally our guild's name. We're very suboptimal, and sometimes our comps just don't have the profiles to handle things very well. We might have multiple things that are just really bad at something that's very important for the fight. For example, one thing we have tons of is like getting rid of the bursts or whatever, the bursts you have to interrupt or CC in some way to get rid of them. We have tons of stuff for that, so like that is not an issue. So personally I wouldn't care if that was nerfed or not, but other things like having two, in this case, it's going to be 2 rep paladins, I believe. If we 4 heal it, it'll be 2 rep paladins and 2 priests, and we do have 2 evokers to help the priests. But we're just we have a lot of slow, not movable classes for the winds and stuff like that. So obviously that can be a bit rough. But other guilds have done it, so it's not like it's a huge deal. But yeah, I definitely am. We basically got to see a lot of phase 1, and hopefully this week. I always set my expectations pretty low. Hopefully, we get into phase 2, maybe even clear phase 2 once or twice, even if it's really sloppy, and kind of see more of the fight. So definitely looking forward to that a lot. Always exciting, like I said. So that's where I'm at. That's what I'm focused on right now. I've still been doing a lot of PvP. I put out a PvP video. It's not like something I normally do, but it's something that I really enjoyed in the game previously, especially back in the old days, and I always delve into it a little bit. It is kind of fun. There is something about WoW PvP that's a little bit fun. For me, it's very similar to League of Legends, where there's no way that I would play League of Legends all the time or full time or something like that as like a gamer. But it's the same thing with WoW PvP. I would never do it all the time, but there's sometimes where it's just kind of fun to go in and use your abilities and smash things and feel powerful and stuff like that. In a PvP setting. Sometimes it's pretty cool. So I have been doing a lot of that, but it's not by any means, my favorite thing to do. Put out a video about it just to kind of give people an idea of where I think it is, especially for casual players, because I do play PvP pretty casually. So I think that's pretty important as well. Other than that, I can't really think of much else to mention. Obviously, just keep looking out for news. We have some Trial of Styles coming up soon. I have the WoW calendar up while I do the video. And I keep having my eye on that because they added more rewards to the Trial of Style and stuff, so that'll be coming up soon. But yeah, not a ton going on. Obviously, head to the Darkmoon Fair. Complete your Mythic Pluses this week if you have those to do, and if you're also raiding or trying to increase your PvP rating or something like that, good luck on that. Obviously, we need all the luck we can with our Mythic Razagath as a guild in my case. So. Yeah, that's it for this one, guys. As always, I do ask you to please subscribe to the channel. That helps me out a lot. And other than that, everybody, have a good one.